Just the lights illuminate above the drivers, and when they go out, we're racing at the Hungary, and he's thinking about having a go going into this chicane. It'll be a very good chance, very little overtaking opportunities here at this track, and he's actually managed to find one, and he's passed Valtteri Bottas as he moves into third position. Sebastian Vettel really suffering for tyre wear now, and Valtteri Bottas has really closed into the back of the Ferrari driver. He's 4 tenths behind, and he has DRS advantage going down the straight. He's going to have a look at the inside line. Vettel holding on from the outside into turn 1. Sebastian Vettel keeping third position. Try and make a move, and it looks like he's make it around the outside. We go into turn 1, and this time Bottas has made the move for third place stick. There's nothing that Sebastian Vettel will be able to do about that. One other driver that has been giving Sebastian all sorts of pressure is Kimi Räikkönen, who's been closing over these past few laps as he crosses the line to finish in a disappointing 4th place.
Welcome F1 fans, it's Friday morning here in Belgium, and hopefully we'll be seeing some on-track action soon as the teams prepare for today's practice session. Spa is such a wonderful track, and it's a circuit that the drivers love to race on. But it's also quite challenging, so we should expect to see a number of cars struggle to get up to speed here today.
Yes, there are many aspects to Spa that keep the drivers and teams thinking. Unpredictable weather, long straights and fast corners, as well as the rise in elevation up to Eau Rouge. All these make Spa one of the prize locations in the Formula 1 calendar.
What kind of setup will drivers be looking for around here? It's got a fair mixture of demanding corners. Is it all about finding the sweet spot in handling balance?
It's easy to make your car quick in a straight line, you just take all the downforce off. But when it comes to a track like this, you really need a bit more of a compromise. The main focus here is carrying speed through the fast-flowing corners, but you still don't want to be a sitting duck on the straight.
Hey, what's up? It is Dan, or DMan96 here, and welcome back to Sebastian's Return to Glory for Round 10, the Belgian Grand Prix. We are back from the summer break, and Sebastian is more than determined to get back into the racing seat, ready for today's race. He's a big fan of this track. He's won here twice before, and he's hoping that today he can win once again and get the advantage over his closest championship rival Nico Rosberg after he closed the points gap down to 1 point after his 2 wins at Silverstone and last time out in Hungary. So Sebastian's main aim for this weekend is to beat Nico Rosberg, but before we go on to the race, it's time to go straight into the qualifying report. The summer break is over and the grid arrives at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit for the Belgian Grand Prix. With championship rivals Rosberg and Vettel only separated by a point, it will be a battle for pole position between the two as Q1 began. Roberto Merhi got the better of teammate Will Stevens this time by 4 tenths per second in the battle for 19th. The fast sweeping corners of the Belgian Grand Prix didn't suit McLaren Honda as both cars lined up ahead of the 2 Manners. It was a disappointing session for Romain Grosjean as he was eliminated in Q1 in 16th as his teammate showed strong pace to qualify 11th. Marcus Ericsson made Q3 for the 3rd time this season in 10th and beat teammate Felipe Nasr once again, who starts 13th. It was an excellent qualifying for Max Verstappen as he was 9th, whilst teammate Carlos Sainz couldn't match his excellent quali pace in Hungary and was down in 14th. After being outshined by teammate Hülkenberg all season, Sergio Perez finally made it into the top 10 with an excellent 8th place start as his teammate could only manage 12th. Daniel Ricciardo returned to the top 10 in 7th, whilst teammate Danny Kvyat was knocked out in Q2 for the 4th consecutive time in 15th. Williams lock out row 3 with Felipe Massa getting the better of teammate Valtteri Bottas. With back-to-back wins in Britain and Hungary and closing the championship lead down to 1 point, Nico Rosberg is more than determined to move to the top of the driver's standings. However, he will have to get ahead of his rival beside him on the grid. As an excellent lap time from Sebastian Vettel sees the German on pole position by half a second over the Mercedes driver, the championship leader is confident that he can keep his lead over Nico Rosberg in the more powerful Mercedes.
Welcome to the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, which is the location for today's race. The cars are out on the grid, so let's join the action on the track. It's Sebastian Vettel who's in the driving seat in today's race. He's on pole, and he'll be hoping he can get to the first corner unscathed, because if he does, he could be on his way to a race win.
It really was a great performance from him yesterday, and I think he'll be feeling very confident that he can push on and win today's race. Unless he has car trouble or a bit of bad luck, he should be untouchable.
Sebastian Vettel has consistently out-qualified his teammate this season, underlining that he's the driver with the best one-lap pace in the team.
Seb always seems to save his best laps for the end of qualifying, and just when you think you've beaten him, he nails the perfect lap and finishes above you.
So it's pole position for Sebastian Vettel as he looks to extend his 1 point gap years over Nico Rosberg. It's another 2-stop strategy for today's race as we go onto the grid now for the Belgian Grand Prix. The 5 lights go out. We are racing here at Spa-Francorchamps. It's a good start for Nico Rosberg. Looks like he's going to take the lead as we go into La Source, and he has got ahead of Sebastian Vettel to go into La Source now. Vettel breaks late. Rosberg goes wide. Hamilton takes second. Raikkonen takes Rosberg, and that's Massa made contact with Rosberg. Massa going off, and now the Mercedes and Ferraris pulling away as we go into Eau Rouge now. It's Vettel leading from Hamilton, Raikkonen and Rosberg as we go into Eau Rouge. Vettel still leads as we go onto the Kemmel Straight, but a poor start for Nico Rosberg. He drops from 2nd to 4th from the first corner there, and Sebastian Vettel has the chance of extending his championship lead, especially with Nico Rosberg dropping down. Lewis Hamilton keeping very close to the championship leader, Kimi Raikkonen in 3rd, so it's a good start for Ferrari 1st and 3rd. As they look to close the lead that Mercedes have in the Constructors' Championship, will then extend it to 65 points. As we now have a look at the start, we're going to go back on board with Felipe Massa to see exactly what happened. And as you see, Rosberg went very wide and came back straight into the path of Felipe Massa, and he loses his position to Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez. But the straight on speed of that Williams will easily get past both drivers, and what an overtake that was on Perez and Bottas just before Les Combes now, and Felipe Massa moves back into 5th position, I do believe. As we go on to the end of lap 1 now, it's still the top 4 very close together, with Sebastian Vettel only 1/10 ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And obviously we all know Mercedes is faster around the Ferrari, probably around most tracks on the calendar, but this one especially. As we go down towards the Kemmel Straight, Hamilton will have the slipstream, and we all know how overpowered the slipstream will be at the Kemmel Straight. But Kimi Raikkonen, as you see, having a look at Nico Rosberg behind. Raikkonen moves into 3rd position. Is he can take 2nd? No, Hamilton trying to hold him, but Raikkonen looks like he's taken 2nd. Could it be a Ferrari 1-2 here at Belgium? Yes, it is. Raikkonen overtakes Lewis Hamilton, and Raikkonen then moves into 2nd. Vettel still holding on to lead, but a huge amount of oversteer there of the exit of the corner of no name, and Raikkonen's going to have a little look around the outside going into P1 now. Raikkonen does not take the lead. Vettel holds the lead, and Raikkonen holds 2nd place. It's still a Ferrari 1-2 for the time being, but Kimi Raikkonen has now lost position to Lewis Hamilton on lap 4 of the Grand Prix. But Hamilton using the DRS and the slipstreams trying to get past Sebastian Vettel going into Les Combes. Sebastian goes wide, he breaks very late, and he goes wide at Les Combes. He still holds on to the lead, however, but Sebastian must be feeling the pressure there. Lewis Hamilton really close behind. Don't know where Nico Rosberg is in all of this. I think he's still in this battle, but now as we go on to lap 6, and Vettel goes wide at P1, Hamilton takes the lead. Raikkonen takes 2nd. Raikkonen forcing Vettel wide. Vettel trying to get the position back, going into the rally chicane now, and Vettel no, he can't get the position on Raikkonen. Raikkonen holds 2nd. Vettel making contact with back of Ferrari, and there you can see Vettel is going to box this lap for another set of the option tyres. He has been feeling a lot of tyre wear this lap, and Lewis Hamilton also going into the pits as well, so Kimi Raikkonen will take the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix as the drivers making their way into the pits. Now Vettel making a little bit of contact with the wall, but luckily suffering no damage. And interestingly, Nico Rosberg coming in as well, so Mercedes opting to double stack, a very interesting decision as well for Mercedes. It's going to cost Nico Rosberg a huge amount of time as Vettel fits his option tyres on. Lewis Hamilton rejoins ahead of Vettel, so he stays in what should be the lead after Kimi Raikkonen makes his pit stop. And there we go, exiting the pit lane now. Vettel in 2nd, very close to Hamilton still, so he could make a move on him on this lap if he keeps close to the back of the Mercedes driver, and that's what he's done here on lap 7 of the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton is being held up by the slower cars of Romain Grosjean and Felipe Nasr. Now we're going into the chicane, and Hamilton is driving very slowly. Grosjean really holding up the Mercedes driver, and Vettel's looking for a move down the inside, and he is going to have a little look at Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton trying to defend, but no, he doesn't really give much of a challenge there to the German. Sebastian Vettel now moves into 8th position as he passes Romain Grosjean as well, and that was essentially for the lead of the Grand Prix. But we move on to the end of lap 8 now, just about to start lap 9, and interestingly, Daniel Ricciardo is almost gone half race distance, and he hasn't pitted yet. I don't know what Red Bull are trying to do with Ricciardo, but I think Ricciardo stayed out on the option tyres too long. He must be driving very slowly, as Lewis Hamilton now uses the slipstream with the DRS once again to attempt to pass on Sebastian Vettel down the Kemmel Straight. Lewis Hamilton having the inside line, Vettel having the outside line, and Hamilton has taken what should be the lead of the Grand Prix. Yes, he has, but Vettel will have, and look back at the inside. Raikkonen's caught back up as well, going into the right-hander now, and Vettel retakes the lead off Lewis Hamilton, and Raikkonen diving up the inside as well. Is Raikkonen going to take 2nd? Yes, he does. It's now essentially a Ferrari 1-2 as Ricciardo has yet to pit. On to lap 10 now. There is the slow Red Bull driver who still hasn't pitted yet. and Vettel's going to make light work of Daniel Ricciardo now, going into the right-hander hairpin where he passed Lewis Hamilton to retake lead of the Grand Prix. There he is, passing Daniel Ricciardo. Now he is officially in the lead of this race. But Daniel Ricciardo now could cause a lot of trouble for the cars behind Vettel. We're on board with Lewis Hamilton. Daniel Ricciardo is in second position, and there is Kimi Raikkonen in third. But Daniel Ricciardo driving very slowly. Lewis Hamilton held up by Red Bull. Raikkonen pulls away, and that has allowed Rosberg, and I think that's Valtteri Bottas in the Williams, to catch up. It might be Felipe Massa, I really don't know which one. But now on to lap 12, Sebastian Vettel suffering with tyre wear, pits in for his final pit stop now for the prime set of tyres. There he is, as Lewis Hamilton does go through, and I believe Kimi Raikkonen leads from Nico Rosberg, and the Williams driver Felipe Massa in third, so it must have been Massa behind Rosberg early on in the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton has lost out really. He has been overtaken by the Williams and his teammate Rosberg, so Daniel Ricciardo could have cost Lewis Hamilton dearly there, as Sebastian Vettel just rejoining behind Max Verstappen, who actually gets past him. As we go into Eau Rouge now, but Sebastian's going to make light work of the Toro Rosso driver, and will move back into fifth position. Sebastian on the prime tyres now until lap 14 of the Grand Prix, and there's Nico Rosberg just coming out the pits, and it looks like Nico Rosberg is actually taking the lead of the Grand Prix, but no, Vettel trying to hold on round the outside, he takes Nico Rosberg for what should be the lead. I believe Massa hasn't pitted yet, and I think the car ahead, don't know who it is, hasn't pitted, but remember Lewis Hamilton now, just come out pits, and he's hit the wall, of the extra pits, he's lost part of his front wing, shame for Lewis Hamilton, and that's going to cost him any chances for win. He's going to fall right back now. There you can see the emblem falling off a Mercedes driving the slow motion camera now, and wow, wasn't expecting that for Lewis Hamilton. We're on board with Daniel Ricciardo, and what the hell is that? I have no idea what to say. Apart from that, this is probably a pace improvement for Red Bull's terrible 2015 car. But now we're back on board with Sebastian Vettel, who is challenging with Nico Rosberg now, as Rosberg overtakes him in the bus stop chicane. Rosberg takes the lead of the Grand Prix as Massa and Raikkonen are entering the pits now. Rosberg with the DRS as we go into La Source now. Rosberg doesn't have DRS anymore, but Vettel will have the slipstream, and I think he'll have the DRS going down the Kemmel straight, as Vettel still continues to charge going into Eau Rouge now. Rosberg still leads, but like I said earlier, Vettel will have the DRS on the Kemmel straight as we are about to enter it now, and there is the DRS line. Rosberg is basically just going to be a sitting duck for Sebastian Vettel, who overtakes him easily on the Kemmel straight. Vettel moves into the lead, and Kimi Raikkonen and Felipe Massa aren't that far behind, so they could even be involved in this battle for first. We move on to lap 16 now. Rosberg still right behind. Kimi Raikkonen's closing in as well. Rosberg side by side with Vettel, going down towards Eau Rouge. Is Rosberg going to take the position? Is Vettel going to hold on? Looks like Vettel's going to hold on around the outside. Yes, Vettel holds on to the position around the outside of Eau Rouge. Brilliant defending there from the Ferrari driver, and this is the important thing now. If Vettel holds on, he will extend his championship lead to 8 points if Rosberg stays in second. However, if Rosberg wins, like I said earlier, he will take the lead of the championship, as the lead is so close at the minute. But now onto cinematic camera, Vettel holding on Nico Rosberg as we go into Eau Rouge. Rosberg tries to have a go, and another excellent performance of defending there for Sebastian Vettel, defending Nico Rosberg and keeping the lead for the time being. But we've still got a couple of laps remaining, and Kimi Raikkonen's even having a go at Nico Rosberg. Raikkonen is going to try and make it a Ferrari 1-2. So this could be very interesting for the Constructors' Championship, with Lewis Hamilton way down the order. I don't know what position he is in exactly, but this could be brilliant for Ferrari if they can get a 1-2. But Vettel driving very slowly, giving the entrance to the Fanny chicane. Rosberg trying to take the positions. We go into the right hand and have a double right hander. Rosberg has the inside line, Vettel has the outside line, and somehow Vettel's managed to defend a position. Going into Stavlo now, it's now a three-way battle for the lead. Anyone of these three drivers could win this race. Rosberg has the inside line, but going back on lap 21, and it started raining. Vettel really struggling with tyre wear. He's got serious understeer, serious oversteer, serious any sort of steer as Rosberg takes the lead. Raikkonen even having a look at Vettel now. Vettel's lost two positions as we go into Blanchimont. He goes very wide. He passes Kimi Raikkonen, but he's gone very wide on the exit as he still holds on second position. He's going to try and get Rosberg going into the bus stop chicane. Vettel takes the lead. What an exciting couple of corners, and Vettel takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. And onto the final lap now. He's been struggling with tyre wear. It started raining. Everyone's been struggling with rain, but Sebastian Vettel exits the final corner. A huge oversteer moment, trying to control the car as he crosses the start-finish line to win the Belgian Grand Prix. what a race and what a last couple of laps there for Sebastian Vettel, taking his 4th win of the season, with rain and tyre wear really playing a huge part in the final 2 laps of this race. Nico Rosberg holds on to 2nd, with Kimi Raikkonen taking his 2nd podium of the season, 3rd. A brilliant drive from Max Verstappen taking 6th, with Pastor Maldonado and Jenson Button also scoring as well for their teams, Lotus and McLaren. So we move on to the Drivers' Championship standings now. As you see, Vettel extends his lead to 7 points now, 8 points ahead of Nico Rosberg in 2nd, Lewis Hamilton holding on to 3rd, with Bottas 4th, Raikkonen overtaking Ricciardo for 5th, Massa holding on to 7th, with Verstappen down 8th, Kvyat and Grosjean also in the top 10. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes still lead, 49 points though, as Ferrari have closed the gap because of their 1st and 3rd place. Everyone else stays in their same positions, but now it's time to move on to the podium. So in terms of the championship, it was a crucial win for Sebastian Vettel as he extends his lead over Nico Rosberg to 8 points, with Kimi Raikkonen finishing 3rd, meaning it's a very successful weekend for Ferrari, and they'll be looking to keep that momentum going into the Italian Grand Prix at Monza next time out, where the Tifosi will be hoping for a 1-2 finish. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching this. If you have, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Until next time guys, it's been DMath96, and I'll catch you guys next time for the Italian Grand Prix.